Yo, what up boys? Today's video, it's gonna be sick. Me and my buddy Wade, he's been building his Toyota Tacoma for like 18 months now. We're gonna see how this thing does. We're gonna give it some test abuse. We're gonna see if we can break this thing today. I'm editing the video and I'm realizing I don't have the attention span to watch a 50-minute video of midly filmed content. I just don't have the brain capacity. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll through with this build walk around with Wade of his sweet Tacoma on 40s. What I decided that we're going to do is next week's video is gonna be Wade's test run with the Tacoma, along with another camping trip mixed with each other. Wanted to give a heads up, I'll post a clip or two of Wade getting down, but just know next week's video is gonna be Wade's test run, and we're gonna see what that specimen can do out on the rocks. All right, let's keep the video rolling. Okay boys, like I said, this is Wade's Toyota Tacoma. He's been working on it for a whole lot of time now. So I guess Wade, kinda tell me what are we looking at? What is this bad beast?
Yeah, so this thing started out as a completely stock 2003 Toyota Tacoma. It was the TRD version, so it did have a rear locker, but obviously that is gone now. What I've done with it to this point, I chopped the front of the frame off so we can get some higher clearance. We've solid axle swapped it. We've got F250 axles under it, front and rear. And then we've got a nice bed cage that Chad and I worked up as a custom bed cage for this thing. It's on 40s, dual lock. Drivetrain is completely stock at this point in time, and it's ready to party.
That's sick. How much did you buy this thing for?
So I bought the original truck for $13,000. The axles, I spent about $1,200 per, not per, sorry, total.
Okay.
Total for the axles. And they were completely stock at the time. So I cut them down, I put my own brackets on. Most of the brackets that I used are from Artec. So Artec brackets. Barnes 4-wheel drive had a lot of stuff that I used as well.
When you bought this thing, what was like your goal? Like, were you trying to just like keep it mild? What was your intentions?
Yeah, so the goal from day one of this purchase was to turn it into an absolute animal off-road. So the tons and 40s was the goal from day one. So step one was obviously cutting all the brackets off. So getting up and setting it on jack stands where I wanted ride height to be. We're sitting at about 25 inches, measured at the cab mounts, front and rear, about 25 inches tall from the ground.
So it's a pretty low build.
Yeah, fairly low, comparatively speaking. Once I set that, that's when I started chopping everything else out. I chopped the front of the frame section right behind where the stock coilover tower is on a Toyota 4Runner Tacoma. So I chopped it from there, and then it's got 3/16" 2x3 tubing from that point forward.
Why did you do that? For what?
The biggest reason I did that for is so that I had a decent amount of up travel. So at that 25-inch frame height, I'm sitting at about 6.5 inches of up travel on this truck.
All right, rides like a caddy, in other words.
Yes, that's the hope.
So instead of just taking off all the IFS stuff, what you essentially did, you just chopped it at the frame, and then you made your new frame section, and you were done with that.
Yes. Okay. I personally think that was the easiest way to do it. There's a lot less cleanup. It's literally 2 cuts, one on each side of the frame, and that whole frame section is gone.
A whole lot less of any monkey business.
So Harrison, or from Hambone Fab, makes fish plates for this kind of chop. So if you're looking for a fish plate and you don't want to design your own, he's got a great product for that. That's where I purchased mine from. And they fit right onto the old frame section where I cut, and they fit that 2x3 like perfectly.
That's sick.
Everything else is custom. So this Panhard link, that's a custom frame side link. These plates are custom for my steering box. The steering box is moved a lot further forward than most builds as well. So that was.
And what steering box are you using for this?
This is a Toyota steering box. I think it's on third generation pickups and second generation 4Runners. So this
just
one
your
came,
standard IFS box?
Yeah, just a standard IFS box.
Okay.
So with a flat pitman arm, again, that was all really for clearance. Moving down to the axle real quick, because this gets into steering, I'm using the Artec weld-on high steer kit.
And it's dual shear. When we did that, it's dual shear now.
Yes. Yep. So that's a dual shear setup What's nice about this is that the pitman arm and the distance from the knuckle to the steering linkage is about the same, so it turns really nicely.
What kind of gearing and what kind of locker do you have up front?
So the front has an ARB air locker, and it's 5.38 to 1 gear ratio up front.
Okay, so 538s. Did you do anything with your brakes, any axle stuff, ball joints, anything with that?
So the brakes are stock F250 brakes. That side is completely stock. I did have to run my own brake lines. So they run across the axle, then up the upper control arm. That way I don't have to worry about like drooping out and ripping a brake line out.
Yeah, something that's hard to not notice are these wheels. What wheels are these?
These are Dirty Life wheels 9304, and they are they're beadlocks.
Sick. With some red anodization, or red powder coat is what I meant to say.
Candy red.
And you got some 40 by 13 Nitto trail grapplers?
Yep.
All right, that's sweet. What kind of, what did you end up doing for suspension on it?
Suspension, it has Dobinson's 2.5 by 14 inch coilovers. The lower spring right now is a 300 pound per inch spring, and the upper spring is a 175. And so far that has been great. It puts me at a good ride height and seems to work well. And
it looks like you have a bump stop too?
Yes, yep. These are 2 inch by 2 inch Dobinson's bump stops. This bumper is custom fab. Chad and I worked on that, putting this thing together, and I think it turned out sick.
It looks like you got some PSC hydro assist stuff going on?
Piecing that together was a little difficult. I've got a PSC power steering pump, the TC style pump, a remote reservoir, and then a 1.75 by 8.75 inch stroke ram on the truck right now.
These 40s are some big heifers for sure. Do you have any like transmission mods? What do you have done with your transmission?
So engine and transmission are completely stock.
Okay.
So
any coolers for your transmission or anything like that?
I do have a cooler for the transmission.
Okay.
So, and that helps a lot. Transmission temps have been great driving it around so far.
Okay, sweet. What kind of links are you running?
So this is a custom link setup. It is 3-link in the front, 38.5 inch long lowers, just to kind of give you an idea where those sit. Again, RTEC brackets. The upper link is actually a modified RTEC bracket, so I cut that and fit it custom to the axle so that I could get the most up travel out of it as possible. These sliders, again, are custom. I built them myself. They are 2 inch, the main bar is 2 inch by 2 inch, and then that comes out to a 1 3/4, 3/16 round tube.
Yes, it's a hybrid.
Yep.
Got a bit of hybrid square and round. The angle of this is really cool. It's going to be good for pivoting off of rocks. It's going to be sweet. I think something that might be sick, and I even want to do this with mine, is putting some UHMW on the bottom and just make it just slicker than snot on a brass doorknob, man.
Yeah, yep. It's actually a lot easier to get into the cab too at this angle. They're not sticking out crazy far, so that was nice.
It's definitely insane clearance. It's very high clearance.
Okay, yeah. So first part of this, and another reason that I chopped the frame was to get the engine and get more clearance for that up travel. So this engine is raised about as high as you can raise it in the engine bay without coming through the hood. It's somewhere between 2 3/4 to 3 inches higher than a stock engine would be. And
you did that to help with the up travel, right?
Yes, yep, that was all for up travel clearance.
Okay.
And just most people that have solid axle swapped or know about the solid axle swaps know you do have to change out your oil pan.
Yeah.
So it does have.
You got the rear wheel drive one, right?
Yes. Yep. The oil pan, it puts your sump in the rear of the engine.
And so your engine mounts, are you just running OEM mounts? What are you doing for your engine mounts?
So the frame side portion of the mount are custom, and then I'm running the trail gear solid mounts.
Sweet.
From the frame to the engine.
Okay. What do we got going on with these brakes?
So the brakes were honestly kind of a pain to get everything together. I've got an older model Toyota Tacoma brake booster. It's the 4-pin brake booster. It's fairly common for these kind of swaps for people to do that. And then I've got a Chevy 1-ton master cylinder, and that's using a Skies off-road adapter to tie those things together.
Yeah.
So, and then from there, I've routed the rear brake lines to a Willwood proportioning valve.
Yeah, just like a manual one?
Yeah, manual proportioning valve.
Okay.
That way you can adjust your brakes as needed.
You got a big old shock tower coming through the wheel well, man.
Yep. Again, Chad and I worked on that. We've got so up front again. Those are 14-inch coilovers.
And then it looks like you relocated the fuse box, added an air compressor.
Yeah. So off of the coilover tower, I built a custom bracket, and that's where I mounted the stock fuse panel. I wanted to keep that as stock as possible.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than chasing electrical problems.
It's a nightmare doing that.
So kept that stock. And then right in front of that, I have this single ARB compressor. The main purpose for that was that I could run an air locker. I will run an air line out of it so I can like help pump tires up with it as well.
For sure. And I'm assuming you probably ran the battery to the bed now?
Yep. So this bracket also serves as my my block. So all of the wiring up front runs to this panel. And then I have cables running from here to the bed, and yeah, batteries in the bed now.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that was a big reason for that. If you look closely, the entire inner fender well is cut out of this truck.
Yeah, it's gone.
And that was for tire clearance. Turns out when you want to flex a 40, you got to move some stuff.
Yeah, it turns out they're a little bit bigger than what people make it seem to be.
Absolutely. You do need to cut to fit 40s. On the other side of the engine bay, is a little bit simpler, but feels just as crowded now. I've got a K&N elbow to an AFE cone filter, and that's got a filter wears on it so that it's, you know, relatively water resistant at least.
Yeah, a little bit better with the dust too.
Yeah, better for the dust as well, especially with how open the wheel wells are now.
Looks like you got the Nalgene washer mod.
Yep. I think a lot of people spend way too much money on their washer mod. This cost me, I think, $20 for everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got a Nalgene bottle with a hole drilled into it, and then I've just got the stock windshield washer pump to it, and it works great.
And it looks like you got a little bit beefier of a radiator.
Yeah, so the big reason I got a different radiator is because the stock one hangs down so far.
They're plastic.
Yeah, and they're plastic. The PSC reservoir lives over on this side too. Directly ties into that PSC power steering pump we were talking about earlier. This thing does have air conditioner still, so just want to make sure that that's, you know.
She's a luxury trail rider.
It is luxury. And the fuse panel lives on this side too.
With the headlights, do you have anything going on with the headlights or turn signals?
So headlights for now are completely stock. I might throw some retrofits in there. We'll see. The blinkers, I think the blinkers you just do as simple as possible. So these are just Amazon like 3-inch LEDs.
Okay.
And I have a similar setup on my 4Runner. They're a little bit longer, and they've worked for 7 years. So I figured why mess with something that works?
Yeah, for sure.
I just got 3-inch LEDs on here for blinkers.
Okay, sweet.
Fully custom bed cage here. I wanted to go bed cage because after wheeling, especially with a 4Runner, and you got the rear window you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, okay, once I'm past the cab, I don't care what happens, and I can just wheel from there. I don't have to worry about denting a bedside or anything. So bed cage was my goal from day one.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the main section of the bed is pretty basic. It's about 42 inches wide by just under 5 feet deep.
Okay.
And that was to keep, like, I'm still going to camp out of this thing, so I still need some storage, but I wanted to keep it as narrow as possible.
Yeah, just so it's not getting hung up on anything.
Yep. And then I've got some fender rails, because you might as well, I mean, the tires are sticking out super far anyways. You might as well use the real estate to put something. So you can see I've got a jack mount. This is actually from RM Engineering, our buddy Ryan, and I will run a spare full time. Like I said, I plan on driving this to and from trailheads, wheeling whatever trail I want to, and then driving it home.
So not a trailer queen.
Absolutely. We're rolling everywhere on this thing.
Listen to that, guys. Drive your truck. Don't trailer it. That's not cool.
We got a nice chase light up there. Really just so when we're bombing through the desert and there's a bunch of dust, nobody's rear-ending me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so batteries back, passenger side corner, kind of under this jack. Nice and out of the way, using a little R-Tech box to keep it in place.
Looks like a yellow top.
Yep, yellow top Optima battery. Had good luck with them. I know some people don't like them, but they've worked fine for me. It's nice having that deep cycle, because if you do, you know, run it down or whatever,
you can take it camping for the weekend and not really worry about it.
Exactly. This is Chevy 63s, and then I've got an 8-inch shackle on it.
Okay.
And then the shocks are smooth body Dobinson's 2.5 by 14 shocks with reservoirs.
Okay.
And then bump stops, same as what I'm running up front. Those are the 2x2 bump stops.
Okay. So you got a pretty similar package front to rear.
Yeah, basically same shocks, just one's a coilover, one's a smooth body.
Okay. And now with your Chevy leaf spring setup, do you know like what year range are these from? Like what's your leaf pack setup looking like?
Yes, this is a 2000 Chevy 1500 leaf pack. It's the 2-leaf pack with an overload spring.
Yeah.
We might tune that a little bit, but for what I'm using it for now, it's great.
Okay. And then you got some big old mud flaps. What kind of material did you use for this?
Yeah, so this is the fender flares, I guess you'd call them, are HDPE. It was super. I bought a whole sheet of it, like 4x8 sheet, for $70. So super cheap way to do it. Covers the tires really, really well. Seems to keep the on-highway issues down.
I guess out back it looks like you got some whip lights as well.
Yep. You know, got to have some party lights.
Oh yeah, how long are these beasts?
Those are 6 feet.
Right.
Maybe a little excessive, but hey, we're here to party.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is gonna be fun at the nighttime when we do some Sand Hollow trips.
Absolutely.
It looks like you got some aftermarket tail lights. Are those trailer lights? What are those?
Yeah, those are just trailer lights. Bought them off of Amazon for super cheap, but it's an integrated system. So I've got turn, brake, reverse, and tail light all integrated into one thing. I also carry a spare, so on the off chance this thing does get smacked on a rock, I can just plug a new one in and we're good to go.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like you got a receiver on this thing, which is pretty cool. Sometimes buggies aren't using receivers. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I figured I'd throw a receiver in. That way I can tow a trailer if I want to. Ultimately, I do plan on building kind of like an overland style trailer so I can take it out camping and then wheel the truck, leave the trailer at camp, and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, and also nice for a bike rack. So rear axle is a Sterling 10.5. So both axles came out of 2008 F250s. That was just happenstance. They came out of different trucks, but that's what I found. The rear axle has a Ford factory e-locker. It works great and is by far the cheapest selectable locker that you can buy. So I do have an e-brake cable. It's not functioning right now.
Okay.
But you know, it's nice to have an e-brake on the trail or wherever. So
is that like just a factory Ford e-brake?
Yes, this is a Ford factory e-brake, and then it just routes up to the Toyota stock handle. I just need to figure out the exact like mounting point so that I have like there's enough tension on the e-brake so when I pull the brake lever, it actually engages the brakes.
Okay.
It's 75% engagement at this point in time, so it'd be nice to just get a little bit more engagement on those.
And it looks like standard brake line routing. You got stainless steel brake lines, and it looks like you got breathers and everything.
Yeah. So brake lines are completely custom as far as routing goes.
Did you have to do anything with the drive shafts? Obviously, you had to get a new drive shaft for the front, I assume.
Yeah. So the rear drive shaft is completely stock.
Okay.
So I didn't have to change anything there. The front drive shaft is a Tom Woods custom length drive shaft. Because I solid axle swapped it and had to put the link brackets where they are, I did have to cut the transmission cross member.
Okay.
And then I bought a cross member that goes around the transfer case. And so that's now my transfer case / transmission cross member at this point.
Okay.
But that was more because of the axle swap and the links than needing to do anything.
Yeah, for sure.
That way.
For your 63, are you just running a standard rough stuff kit?
Yes. Yep. Alrighty. So I wanted to keep the interior basically as stock as possible. I didn't want to do anything too crazy with it. But obviously there's a few things that I did need to change. So I am running a Tech Customs like Molly bracket, and off of that I've got a phone mount, and then I've got my aux beam switch panel here. It's super nice having this switch panel right next to you, so I can just engage the lockers or turn on the lights or the air compressor whenever I need to.
Yeah.
and it's within reach. I don't have to be reaching down here to try and engage anything.
Yeah, and that's what I can't stand about my S-Pod is I replaced it where the ashtray is, and it's a disaster reaching down low, having a passenger touch it. My friend will be riding with me in the nighttime, turn on my spotlights, and then he can't turn them back off. It's nice that it's just right and easily accessible.
Yep, exactly. So really nice that it's accessible, especially if you're, you know, like on a steep climb and your seat belt's locking you in, and you're trying to hit something. I've also got a scan gauge. It's nice to keep an eye on temps.
Oh yeah.
And then
I live by my scan gauge.
Yeah.
It's really nice and helpful to have. It's nice to have real numbers, not like your water temp saying, oh, it's in the middle. It tells you what the actual number is, which is nice.
Yeah, so my whole point in buying that was actually for my 4Runner. The temp gauge on the dash is broken. So I was like, well, who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
So I bought a scan gauge, and then you know exactly where everything's at. A lot easier to keep an eye on. This is one of the options. It does have the J-shift transfer case, which is interesting. Apparently that's not a very common thing for this this truck from factory.
Yeah, it's usually the push button.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, well, good job on building this thing. It is sick. I guess let's go hit some little Moab trails and see how this thing does, huh?
Yeah, let's go rip it.
All right, okay, dude. Good job on the build.
Thanks, man.
Okay, boys, that was pretty sick. That is Wade's 2003 Tacoma. If you guys like the video, do all that good stuff. Hit the like button, drop a comment on your favorite section of the truck. If you guys want to see content similar to this, hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. In the meantime, I think we're gonna go abuse this thing and take it out. We'll see you on the next video. Peace out.